So my name is Peter Pennefather, and I'm the academic director of the Laboratory of Collaborative Diagnostics, the LCD.
So Peter, what do you mean by collaborative diagnostics?
Well, diagnosis is a statement of the nature of the condition. And you arrive at a diagnosis through implementing a diagnostic procedure. So diagnostics involves planning and delivering the services that allow you to arrive at a diagnosis. And since collaborative means working together, a collaborative diagnostic is planning and delivering a service that leads collaboratively to a diagnosis. It involves multiple devices, procedures, and individuals all working together to come up with this statement of a condition. Now the LCD is researching and developing collaborative diagnostic systems. And in particular, we're looking at diagnostic systems that are useful in the treatment of infectious diseases.
So Peter, why do we want to do this type of work?
Well, again, the LCD is specifically concerned with infectious diseases. Hundreds of millions of people around the world are suffering from treatable, preventable infectious diseases. These include your flus, your AIDS, malaria, diarrhea, tuberculosis, and these diseases are not only causing millions of deaths around the world, they're causing hundreds of millions of man lives and days lost every year. And in many parts of the world, 1/3 to 2/3 of children's deaths can be traced back to preventable infectious diseases. Now, this is recognized as a major grand challenge in global health. Addressing this problem. There's no reason for these children to die. Now, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has identified, 14 major global health grand challenges, and we're addressing two of them. The two ones that we're looking at specifically are how to measure disease and health status accurately and economically anywhere. So that's global health grand challenge number 13. And global challenge number 14 is how to provide a means for assessing an individual for multiple conditions and pathogens out of point of care. If we address both of these issues, we'd be well along our way to preventing any of these diseases.
So Peter, this sounds like a hugely complex problem.
Oh, you're right. It is a complex problem. But complexity is our business. Complexity can be made very simple, as anyone who's read all this complexity and chaos theory literature. But what complexity deals with is going from one stable point to another stable point. The stable point to start with is a particular person, a particular time and place, who has some signs and symptoms, and in order to interpret that, we need to carry a diagnostic test. And the other stable point where we want to achieve is that we've worked collaboratively to understand the causes of these signs and symptoms. Now, the way we're approaching this is by proposing certain design constraints. Design constraints that can guide the development of a collaborative diagnostic system. So we start off with what is a collaborative diagnostic system. And these should be transparent in terms of their composition, in terms of their operation, and in terms of the diagnostic information that's exchanged. Everything has to be transparent and accountable. And using communication and measurement technology that is presently available, this is all possible. The components of a collaborative diagnostic system have to be flexible assemblies and interchangeable, rapidly swappable, inexpensive commodity products. So that's an essential design constraint if we want something that will be able to be delivered anywhere, which is one of the grand challenges. It has to be delivered anywhere and can be used to measure multiple passages and positions in any one individual. A third design constraint is that the data generated by these systems has to be annotated with respect to provenance and purpose and easily shared. In order for it to be easily shared, you have to know where the data came from and why it was captured. So the provenance is essential for the collaborative nature of collaborative diagnostics. And finally, the processes enabled by these systems will involve multiple agents and extend well beyond the actual test at hand. So it has to be distributed, and it has to be networked, and it has to take into account the broader context in which the diagnosis needs to be made.